Give me the George Clooney look if you would.
I wish yeah.
I know it's a challenge, but I know that. Yes.
Okay, who are you, sir?
My name is Malcolm Cooper. You are at Basement Barbers. I'm co-owner here with my buddy Joey Briggs. And we have our other barber here, Chris Sanchez.
Cool. Looks like this place is jumping.
Chairs are full.
Chairs are full like always.
This is a great place, good vibes. He died, it was a shame.
Yeah.
You like Hendrix, right?
Oh, yeah.
And who are you, by the way?
My name is Gary Vogt. I'm the author of that book you're promoting,
What's it called again?
Dear Gang.
And what's it about?
It's all the letters I wrote home from Vietnam. It's that simple. My mother, God bless her, kept every one of them, and you helped me put it together, and now it's a damn book.
What'd you do in Vietnam?
I was a combat photographer with the first Air Cav.
The legendary first Air Cav.
Well, that's what they say, and I believe them, but 67 to 68. I was there for a lot of the stuff that went on. Tet Offensive, Quezon, the Oshawa Valley, all sorts of stuff.
The Oshawa Valley was in Platoon, right? That's what that story was
that's
about.
That's the one they featured in Platoon.
Right.
And
First Air Cav was involved, right? With that?
Yeah, they were involved. But one of the ones I kind of like the most when it comes to the movies is Apocalypse Now, because that was about the first Cav, and I knew majors in helicopters that were
Kilgore?
Yeah, that were as bold as what's his name?
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall portrayed them. Oh yeah, they were crazy. They were crazy. It's a whole different world.
Now, Malcolm has his own sort of historical background with his father, right, Malcolm?
Oh yeah, he was involved with the Freedom Fighters back in 1960, in the 60s. He worked with Wounded Knee up in South Dakota. What your glasses on, John?
Oh yeah.
He's taken me to a whole bunch of different civil rights movements, anniversaries down in Mississippi, Louisiana. He's been all over. Blytheville, Arkansas. He took me to the Black Panther convention, the Black Panther. We went there in 2003 in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
It's all I've been involved in my whole life. Demonstrations and kind of fighting against what you guys are promoting. A little bit.
How long have you had this shop? You and your partner,
The
Malcolm?
shop has been here at 1728 Abrazo for the last 4 months in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Joey first started it 2 years ago, right behind the movie theater on Southern and Unser.
By two guys.
By 5 guys.
Five guys.
By the burger joint.
Right.
And when that's happened, it's grown and we had to expand.
Is that little portable
This right here is our new Cosmo that we've hired, Michelle Romero.
Oh, good. My wife will want to know that.
Oh yeah, she's doing nails and everything else.
And that's Malcolm.
Hey Michael, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Good to meet you, bro.
This is really a happening barbershop, man.
Yeah, it's happening.
You got old folks, young folks,
All folks.
all humans,
There you go.
and little babies too.
Yeah, that's our building right there on the corner. I heard somebody
It's up on jacks now, ready to move.
on Jack. You know, someone who wants to buy it, man, tell them, man, 10,000 the best offer.
Okay.
New prints and everything. I own it, man. I found it. So it's there. They just have to pick it up.
What are you guys talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
No, their old building over there near the movie theater.
Oh, they're gonna move it?
Well, yeah, it's already been taken off of the
It's up on Jazz.
it's up on Jags. It's
Waiting to be
kind of,
moved or sold.
yep.
What are they gonna put there?
Nothing. It's just kind of desert now.
I don't know what's going to put there.
Oh, is that that little place?
Yeah, the little
Oh,
building.
I know. Okay, I always wondered about that place. I always wanted to stop in there. It was so cool looking.
Well, you just came to the bigger, better version.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's not going to move quite as easy.
We're here for the next 4 years.
There you go. And hopefully beyond.
Okay, let's talk about your book, Gary.
Okay?
Letters you wrote home, right?
Correct. And the photographs that are left over from the ones that I took with my personal camera.
Right.
The ones that I took with the Army's cameras are somewhere else. I don't know where they're at. I mean, that's the vast majority of them.
Because the Army kept them, right?
Oh, yeah. Supposedly they're on file somewhere, but who knows? It's, so I'm glad that I have the ones that I sent home and the ones that I kept, the slides. I mean, I know it helps the book to have some photographs. I'm like everybody else. You buy a book with photographs, about the first thing you do is go look at the photographs.
Oh, yeah.
And again, as somebody was talking about, like the photograph on the cover, well, it'd have been a lot better if you had your camera around your neck, and I said, I didn't realize in '67 I was posing for the cover of a goddamn book, and I didn't realize, that the letters were ever intended to be any kind of a book. There's just like I say, there was my reach out to my family to try to stay connected and have something to go home to, and
Right.
The photographs, like I say, luckily there are still a few, and most of them I know what they are and when they were taken, but like the ones of the villages and the city motorcycles and stuff, I couldn't tell you. I can tell you it was never Saigon because I was never there, but it's some sort of a small village or town in Vietnam, and it's again a guy with a camera and wasn't paying for the film. I just kind of shot what I saw. About 2 weeks shy of 1 year, June of '67 to June of '68. And yeah, right there in the thick of it. I was 18 when I got there and turned 19 2 months later. So, less than a year out of basic training. Yeah, it sure does, and especially when you come from something like, Connecticut. Not that there's anything wrong with Connecticut, but my folks were kind of typical, I guess you'd say, white middle class. To go from that to, where people lived in mud huts and people were trying to kill you, it was a heck of a culture shock. But, like most of the people there, it was just one day at a time and try to get through it. Unfortunately, not everybody did. But I was one of the lucky ones that managed to keep my head down and stay out of trouble and get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Chris, let me show you something, please.
And I'm real thankful to this man here behind the camera for putting it all together and making more out of it other than a briefcase full of letters. And as I tell Larry, I still do have all the originals. And I think there's something to see too, because they're on at least 40 different kinds of stationery, some in pencil, some in pen, and they're the originals, and I've still got every one of them, in case anybody should ever doubt that I made this stuff up. I got the originals, they're all dated with the LZ or wherever I was, and so there's no doubt about it. So I don't know if it's almost got to be nonfiction, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, it is nonfiction.
It is what it is.
You got websites, right? Or a website?
Well, yeah, apparently I do for the book, and that's deer-gang.com, and
Make sure that's loud and clear.
right. Well, I'll go in there one day and just type in Deer Gang and see what comes up, because I don't know how much difference that makes, but that's how we were able to get that website, is by putting in the hyphen, I guess. So.
Yeah, somebody else had Deer Gang.
And you know what, when you look that up, almost all of that is about gangs.
Yeah.
New York, LA, Chicago, wherever, gangs. Rather than, in my case, Dear Gang was the salutation I used when I, wrote letters home, because I was writing to my family. And
Right.
Dear Gang sounded like the best way to kind of address all of them.
Now, you want folks to buy your book, right? And the best place for them to buy it is at your website.
The website, right, and then go to...
There's a link.
And go to Create Space, I guess.
Yeah, it says buy the book.
Yeah.
We make it really plain there.
Right. then they can do it that way. And again, as it says on the website, $1 from every book goes to the VFW National Home for Children, which supports the veterans and their families when they're overseas or when they die. And $1 from every book goes to the Wounded Warrior Project, which helps the current veterans who unfortunately are getting a lot more injuries than they did in Vietnam with all the IEDs and stuff like that. So
Surviving too because of the body armor is so good.
body armor and modern medicine and everything. And so, like I said, if I make $1 or $2, that's fine. But if I don't, I want the money to go to those two very worthy causes, of which I'm both a member.
Okay, one more time about those wounded warriors and the National Home.
Right. Well, $1 from every book goes to the VFW National Home for Children, which supports veterans and their families. And it's a huge 300-acre facility, and I think it's Michigan, where they house them, they educate them, they send them on to college, they give them a home when their parents is gone. And $1 goes to the current Wounded Warrior Project, which supports the modern-day veterans and their struggles.
And there's a link on your website.
Correct. If you go to the website, deer-gang.com, there's a link to each one of them to sign up or donate money. And even if you don't buy the book, please donate to those two very worthy causes. And as I say, I made the commitment and I will follow through that $1 from each book goes to each one of them. So, you know, if I make $2.12, well, then I get 12 cents and they get the $2. There's no way around that. I've been very lucky now at the end of my life to get VFW or VA disability and enough to live on, so I don't need the money. I'd rather just give it away till it hurts. And believe me, it's not going to hurt. It's not ever going to hurt to give it away to good causes.